Honestly, so incredibly selfish because and the reason you stayed in America, I allowed you to stay with my friends. You and I are done.
One of the biggest lessons I can teach you boys is that single friends love to keep each other fucking single. And that's it at the end of the day. You truly, I promise you boys, you need to look at her friends. You need to look at her circle. Who the fuck is she hanging out with, bro? I'm telling you, chicks are the only ones that will edge each other on to break each other up. Oh my god, he said what? He's controlling. He's crazy. He's psycho. Break up with him. It's because they don't want her to be happy, homie. Maybe sometimes they're right. Maybe if you're clingy as fuck and you're a beta ass bitch, sure. But at the end of the day, I'm telling you that girls are the only ones who do this shit. When I call a homie up, like let's say I'm having problems with my girl, I call one of my homies, yo, like this is what's going on. That motherfucker's gonna tell me the truth from both sides. Like, oh bro, you fucking up right now. You know what I mean? Like, she fucked up too, but you fucked up as well. You know, and like we're real as fuck. We're logical. They are emotional. Watch out for her fucking friends. I promise you. Stay cold. Stay relentless. Every red flag fucking matters. This is your future, homie. Your future. This is the girls you're gonna be dealing with. Stay cold.
You know, it's funny because people will call dudes insecure for setting boundaries in a relationship, when in reality, I think it's the complete opposite. I think the dudes that are actually insecure are the ones that'll let their girls walk all over them. The ones too scared to put their foot down in a relationship because they scared their girl is just gonna walk away. They have no confidence within themselves to believe that they can maintain a relationship just by being themselves, so they have to add incentives. Deep down, they feel as though she's settling for them, so they might as well let her do whatever she wants. Because what's stopping her from talking to Larry across the street? And I think this can apply to both genders. However, I find the difference in reactions and outcomes from each gender quite interesting. Because if a girl is in a relationship getting done dirty, I'm talking grimy by a dude, everybody's going to question, where's her self-respect? Why does she put up with this? But when a dude lets anything slide, it's as he should. And I'm not talking about Adam 22. That's something different. But what's also interesting is you can use what I said earlier and look at it as letting things slide because of insecurities. Or you can also look at it as letting things slide because he just does not give two craps about you. What I've never understood about the attack on these boundaries is the fact that if a dude genuinely cares about you, if a dude has genuine intentions for you for the future, he's gonna care about the way that you represent him as well as yourself, as well as the relationship. Any dude who's out here just letting you do whatever you want, whenever you want, most likely is doing it as well, and most likely does not care about you as much as you think he does. And everybody's gonna have different boundaries, you know, naturally, based off of the way that you grew up or just based off of the things that you've experienced in the past. And that's not necessarily wrong, you know, to each his own. Some dudes don't care if she got a boy best friend. Me personally, we don't do that over here, but it's preference. But don't try to downplay other people's boundaries because you let everything slide.
Every girl on earth disappeared.
Oh, life could be a dream. Shaboom, if I could take you up in paradise up above. Shaboom, and tell me, darling, I'm the only one that you love.
Having a girlfriend is going to keep you broke, and here's why. Let me count the ways. Sorry guys, it's just who you are. And hear me out. This video, we care about two things already, not being alone and not being broke. And we've already externalized some of our validation into not being alone. And can some of us agree that we think making the money is what's going to keep us from being alone? Can we agree on that? To gain wealth, you need to build a skill set, you need to position yourself well, and then you need to build momentum. You have to get somewhere. You have to push that ball faster and faster, and you can't take your hands off that project. You are not going to softly fall into money while balancing a relationship and their needs along with your ambitions. Because you'll have to put work into your relationship so that way they don't leave you. Because the women that will date you while you're broke are not the lifestyle ones that'll sit through the fact that you're always busy. See, a girl who will date you when you're broke, she values companionship, emotional availability, emotional support, connection. Once you're rich, the girls that will date you want lifestyle. So they'll be fine with you working 80 hours a week because they just want the handbag. And at that point, you can have a girlfriend and stay rich because you hopefully have developed a skill set and found a way to automate your businesses or keep your businesses moving while also having your cake and eating it too. The automation part's the really cool part here for dating, because once I automated my businesses and took 2 years off, I slowed down, I softened up a little bit, and I started dating women who wanted emotional availability, but also like a wealthy or accomplished man. And I'll tell you, I've never met such amazing people and felt so like masculine and important in my life than to be able to kind of like do both. Getting to both is where you want to be. You don't want to get rich and date the hussies that want the bag. You want to get rich, fail dating the hussies that want the bag, realize that there's more out there, automate your businesses, and go find your soul again, and then find your soulmate.
I have walked away from women I loved with all my heart, and women I missed for months, but I never fucking told them, and I never texted them because I was a man about it. Being a man about things isn't not feeling things. It's feeling things and still acting like a man. In fact, you know what's funny? One of them, after 2.5 years, messaged me on Instagram yesterday, and I read her message and left it on read. And she was sitting there, and she was online waiting for me to reply, and I was like, no. If she's not gonna be the woman you need her to be, she has to fucking go, and you just have to be a man.
You don't pick a project woman. You pick a woman that's fully assembled. Picking a project woman means you got to stop what you're doing and put the pieces together. And putting the pieces together, she will never thank you for putting the pieces together. She will resent you for remembering her when she was broken. Oh shit.
There's two ways you can handle a breakup. Yes, you're gonna have a ton of pain, you're gonna have hurt, you're gonna have this excess buildup of energy. Some guys just end up like stalking their ex's stories and sending messages and doing all this bullshit. Withdraw attention and then get focused and obsessed with self-improvement. Put that excess attention into improving yourself so you can get back on the field and attract an equal or higher mate.
Okay, so as a woman, one thing that I'm very sick and tired of seeing is all of these women giving bad advice, especially to the younger women, because you know what it is? Misery loves company. I see all of these women in their 30s, 40s, 50s that are giving terrible advice to women in their 20s and even younger than that. So coming from a woman, I'm going to be honest with you and I'm going to tell you what hitting the wall means. So men value different things than women do. They value beauty, youth, and they value someone that respects themselves. When you start aging, your biological clock is ticking, and that is just a real fact. Going into your 30s, your options are going to be less than when you were in your 20s. And those guys around your age are now looking at the younger women, and you're going to be competing now with the 20-year-olds for the guys that you want. And then now when you're ready to start settling down and possibly start thinking about having kids, those same guys might feel like you're rushing them and they might not want the same things at this point. So then the dating market starts getting stressful, and then now these women are rushing for time because now their biological clock is really ticking and they want to go through the stages. And then a lot of them end up single, a lot of them end up childless because they chose to have fun in their 20s instead of looking for a relationship. And they thought that when the time came that they did want to settle down, that they would still have all the options that they had when they were 20. But then reality hits and a lot of them end up childless and single and not by choice. So don't listen to all of these women that are saying that they're so happy and they're so content with not having children and they didn't want to get married, because the reality is that a lot of them did, most of them did, and by that point they just didn't have a choice anymore, and so they had to accept that now they are childless and single. So of course they're going to make the best out of it. But what I don't like is that they're preaching to the younger generation that this is the way to go. Because if they could have chosen otherwise, they would have.
Personally, coming from someone that has cheated, I think so.
Why did you cheat?
So basically the sex was just horrible. I just had another thing going on the side.
So why didn't you leave him?
He was just nice. He was just genuine, you know? But the other guy I knew was just for fun. It was just still really good.
You can't make this shit up! Did you come clean?
When he read my messages, yeah.
You can't be needy with girls. Here's the secret. If you watch my videos, you know I always tell you that girls hate needy guys. I regularly get questioned about how to not come off as needy. So here's the secret. It all boils down to abundance. If you don't have abundance, it means you lack options, which causes you to be desperate and needy. You start being emotional about losing her. Then you start triple texting her and worrying about her leaving you. This type of behavior disgusts women, guys. You have to understand this. Start discovering why you lack abundance in your life and start correcting it. I typically recommend getting more disciplined and working on yourself to give yourself more options.